Hi. Okay, I am going to ask my friend Angie Johnsey to join in. Happy New Year, you guys. Good morning, everybody. Or, I guess afternoon, still morning. Hi, Angie.
Hello. Oh gosh, I can't hear you. Hold it now. Hey.
It worked. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
this is
we
great.
did it.
Oh, this is great. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Angie.
Here. How are you
Uh,
doing?
I'm okay. It's been quite the year. To say the least. I guess. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been trucking along. I've gotten back inspired and creating content again and excited about that. I'm excited
Oh
about
yeah, I'm excited about your content. If any of you guys who follow me and don't follow Angie yet, I make a big suggestion to please follow her. She has helped me. I don't even. I guess it's not set my mind straight, but it's more like help me to learn how to listen to my mind when it wants to be heard. I think that's probably the most important thing that I learned from you is that instead of trying to shut the voices up in my head that I've been doing for the past 60 years, is because when the anxiety starts bubbling up, I'll go, okay, now wait a minute. Something's not being heard. What do you want to talk about? And I'll just talk to my anxiety and eventually it will go down and my anxiety will just tell me, well, you have this thing coming up on the Today Show and you're a little nervous about it. Are you sure you prepped everything correctly and blah 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 blah. And that's because I just had some bubbling up this morning because I'm going to be on the Today Show on Monday morning.
Oh
And
yay.
inevitably I always get nervous. Do I have all the food prepped correctly? Am I giving the proper recipes out to people and blah blah blah. So I just talked to my anxiety and it dissipated. And I wanted to bring Angie in here. So first of all, you guys, if you don't know her, you could meet her because she has been a huge positive influence in my mind, in my tidy mind, and in my life.
Yeah.
If you saw the Today Show, it was like basically last year at this time that I met you.
Yeah. Well,
It's crazy how fast and how slow this year went. But I wanted everyone to be able to get some of the great knowledge that I've gotten from Angie. And she does these great things on Friday. If you want to tune in every Friday, please do that. Maybe we can do this once a month or something just so that we can check to make sure that I'm putting the proper emotions in the proper rooms and stuff like that. Because I'm one of those people that always has to do it exactly right or I'm a failure and I've done it wrong. And so there's no use in going on. And so I've now realized that that's not I'm starting to quiet that voice in my head. I've given it enough time to talk to me. But what would you like to see people do in the new year for themselves?
be aware. Be aware of their mind. Be aware of what their mind is doing to them and their life. Like be aware of just what a big impact that, we like to blame it on the outer situation. We like to blame it on, oh, well, this year was horrible or COVID or politics or the whatever. But we have to pull that back in and say, let me look at this and take responsibility and pull this back inward and say, maybe a lot of how I'm feeling is what's going on inside and how I'm perceiving the outside and how we can start to shift that, because it really is, like, of course we want a perfect world, of course we want everybody healthy, of course we want all this good stuff to go on, but it's our inner world that if we can take responsibility for it, we get to feel good. And we may not like what we're seeing on the outside, we may not want to see that. We may want it to change, and that's good. That's normal. That's healthy. But the important thing is that we are feeling good so that we can show up in the world as the best version of us. And then that shift inward changes how we interact with the person at the grocery store, how we interact with this person and that person, how we show up in the world. Like, are we putting out more fear into the world? Are we going to show up and put more love and kindness and compassion into the world? And it starts in your inner world. Like,
It starts by giving ourselves more love, more compassion, more grace. If I've learned anything, it's that I really need to just be nicer to myself. And we all have, we all have these assumptions about anybody, whether it be, my world is just like a bigger world of a small town. How everybody knows each other in a small town. And so everyone knows my stuff. That's because I just talk about it all the time. So I don't care. Or I do care. But hi, Batman. Batman just walked over. So I'll just let him say hi to everybody. Hello. Batman says hi. So it truly is that gift of being able to learn how to speak to those voices and let them be heard, and then treat them with kindness and say, I know it's scary right now, or I know it's horrible right now, and you want to scream and be angry, and when you can do all those things, but just be kind to yourself, because as you're kind to yourself, you'll find that it's so much easier to be kinder to other people, because that whole thing about it's easier to be kind than to be mean, I don't think that's true. I think it's so much easier to be mean to somebody, because it's a reaction. And to be kind is to be thoughtful and to sit back and listen to your own or someone else's fear or their grief or whatever, that, because fear and grief is what becomes anger. Anytime you're angry, you're afraid of something, or you're grieving something. And I would hope that if you get one thing out of this, that's today, when you find yourself angry, ask yourself what you're afraid of or what you're sad about. And maybe then you'll start talking to that voice in your head, and it heard, and the anger will dissipate, and it's easier to be kinder to yourself and then to others, because we need so much kindness in 2021. We really need it badly.
And that's such a good point about anger, because a lot of us it has such a negative association when we say, oh, we're angry. Oh, I can't be angry. Don't be angry. I shouldn't be angry. It's like that anger, like you said, is trying to tell us something. It is that part of us, that inner child, that's saying, hey, I don't like this, and you are making me put up with this, and I'm really tired of it. Like, I don't like this. I want to change this. You're not listening to me. So sometimes that inner child, that the anger comes from that space to say, I don't want this. I don't want this. I want to change this. And anger can be a very powerful energy if we harness it and direct it and actually listen to what it's saying to us, to say, I'm going to use that energy not to cause harm, but to cause change. And I'm going to change my situation, instead of just, shoving my inner child down and say, stop being angry, stop being like that, stop being so, just suck it up. Just don't say that to yourself anymore.
Yeah, that suck it up, buttercup, is bullshit, by the way. Because we don't have to suck it up all the time. We can really, excuse my language, I do get a little.
No, go for it.
But this is my Instagram page, so what the hell.
New year, new you.
Yeah. I've noticed some stuff going through, and there's someone who keeps saying something about a loved one being hooked on heroin now, and that this won't work. And I don't have the answers for something like that. I have dealt with that kind of abuse in my life with people that I love very dearly, and what they're going through is so overwhelming that they need a drug. I mean, let's face it. Sometimes all of us are going through something so overwhelming that drugs is the only thing that give them relief, and in the meantime causes pain so much. I am not a doctor. I don't know how to deal with all of that. I tried desperately to deal with someone addicted in my lifetime, and it doesn't work until they want to get the help. It does not mean that they don't love you. I do want to say that, though. They can love you wholeheartedly, but because they don't love themselves or what they're going through, they can't show that love. It's a very challenging thing to go through. I do see Al-Anon, did help me for a little while, but pulling yourself out of the situation is a very challenging thing to do. It took me 10 years to do it, and it's still. I'm so scared to talk about this because I don't want to give any advice that could be harmful in any way. So do know that I'm not a doctor. I'm only speaking from my experiences. And addiction is so, yes, someone just said addiction is so complex. It is ridiculously complex. I'm addicted in my own way, that I'm a foodaholic. That may sound silly, but that's how I deal with a lot of the pain, or I've dealt with a lot of the pain in my life, is that I will turn to food to not feel the emotions that are too challenging for me to feel. And this is where this comes in. And we only have to help ourselves before we can help someone else. So if you are in love and love someone who is addicted to something as dangerous as heroin, you have to treat yourself good first, better first. You have to treat yourself with kindness, because the control that you have over yourself is the only control that you have in the world. You don't have control over another human being. You can pray for them. You can take care of yourself, take care of your own mental health, and put things in front of them that could hopefully help them, get them to a place with people that know how to treat those things. But you have to take care of yourself first. And I'm so sorry that someone on this feed is dealing with that, because it's very scary.
Yeah,
Very scary.
that is a big challenge. And I think that compassion is a big part of the answer. And I know a lot of minds are like, I don't want to hear it. Like, I can't get help. I can't get better. I can't feel better. But I want you to know that I say this all the time. Guilt and shame never change the behavior. You cannot guilt
Hey, if
yourself.
guilt and shame changed behavior, I would weigh 110 pounds and I would it be, so no, guilt and shame do nothing for you. And guilt and shame throw you into an abyss that is very challenging to crawl out of. Guilt and shame doesn't do anybody any good at all, ever.
No, all it does is like cements, it grounds, it makes sure you're going to continue that behavior over and over. So if you're out there and you're listening and you're in this situation, and it's not just, we've got all kinds of addictions, like there's all kinds, and there are some that are more dangerous, like as in your next fix could be your last fix, and it is life or death, and it is dangerous. So just start by saying, you know what, yes, I did that, but I'm not going to do the cycle of hating myself because I did it again. I'm trying not to do it again, but I did it again. If you can break it right there and say, you know what, this time I'm going to meet myself with as much love and as much compassion as I can possibly have. And hey, if you're living with somebody that's going through this, or know somebody, you're not going to guilt and shame them out of it. You're not going to preach to them. You're not going to, that doesn't
work.
It doesn't help them at all. It actually just makes it worse. It makes them feel unaccepted. It makes them feel unseen. They already feel that. And now, because of what they're doing to cope with feeling unseen, they don't know themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't know how to love themselves. Nobody ever taught them how to love themselves. Maybe they had a hard childhood or whatever. And you show up and you're doing the exact same thing to them that is going on inside their head. Not going to help. You're going to have to say, I see you. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not even going to tell you I understand. I'm not going to say, oh, I know how you feel. I don't know how you feel. But I want you to know I'm here, and I don't judge you at all for how you're trying to cope with whatever's going on in here at all. And I want to be a safe space for you. And I want to be a place that you can come to and say, I don't feel good about this, or I'm hating myself about this, and I want to be a person that can say, don't hate yourself. I don't hate you. Don't hate yourself. Like, learn to, through being that for someone else, they can learn to have that kind of dialogue inside to say, you know what, I don't hate you. I don't think you're a bad person. I don't think you're a loser. I don't think you're a failure. I don't think you're any of that. Like, I love you, like, just like you are. Like, I think you're amazing. anyway,
and everybody is amazing. Everybody, we are all so amazing in our own, what we have to give to the world. Right, right. What we have to give to the world, what we have to receive from the world. It's all amazing. It feels very desperate and sad a lot of the times, but to look for the good is so important. And sometimes it feels like, oh, so yeah, flighty, or you're such a flake or whatever. Yeah, be grateful, whatever. But it works. Gratitude for anything works, because what you put out into the world is what you get back. Some people call it karma. Some people call it energy. Some people call it, but it is true. What you put out, you will get back eventually, whether it's automatic or whether it's years from now. But by continuing to put out kindness into the world and into yourself and into just your own nuclear family, it spreads. It does spread.
Yeah. I like to say, like, throw love at everything. Stop throwing fear at everybody in your people room. If you don't know what a people room, it's all about the tiny mind process. But don't throw fear at them, or they'll give you something to be afraid of.
Right, right.
Throw love at them. And that just means, what I mean by that is, think loving thoughts. Don't be thinking, oh, they hate me. I don't like them. I don't like how they did this. I don't like how they treat me. I don't like this. I don't like that. Like, all of that is negative fear thoughts, which will just build a wall between you and them.
Correct.
And it just kind of cements them into your experience to bring you more of the stuff that you don't want to have.
And you can separate the person from the actions. You can do your best to do that. I mean, there are dramatic differences sometimes in, if you're in a dangerous household and you need to get out, there's the things where you just need to protect yourself. But there are things that you can do and separate the behavior from the person. If someone says something to you that you don't like, or someone treats you in a way that that is uncomfortable, or you can separate that behavior from, I really hate this behavior. I love you, but I would like that behavior to not happen to me. It sounds simplistic. It's almost the way you treat a child. I mean, that's the way I raised Wolfie was, I'm not mad at you, Wolfie. I don't like that behavior. That behavior is not okay. So it was never held against him. And to have something not held against you for a mistake you may make, I think is big. I mean, we all make mistakes, and I just would like to learn from my mistake and get past it and not be reminded of it all the time. But we can be reminded of it the time if we continue to do that into our head, like, oh, you're such an idiot. Why did you do that? Why did you say that? Stupid, stupid, stupid. No, it's a mistake. And if you really did hurt somebody, the first thing you do is apologize immediately. It's, I am so sorry that I hurt you. Not if I hurt you. That's a stupid apology. But I am so sorry that I hurt you. That was not my intention. I pray that I never do it again. But that's, give a true, honest apology for your behavior. And it's interesting how if someone does something to you or says something to you that you're already saying to yourself in your head, it's amazing how much more it can ring and vibrate in your head, because you already believe it. And then when someone says it, it's like, aha, it is true. I am stupid. No, it's not true. It's something, a lie you've told yourself, and it's a lie somebody else is telling you. So I would like people to keep that in mind. There's so many comments coming in. I'm scrolling. They're scrolling by so fast. I'm so sorry that I'm not seeing them. Maybe we should put this up on our gallery, and people can leave what they'd like us to talk about next time, because I would like to do this next time, because this helps me to remember to be nice to myself.
That's exactly right. And they could leave it, and I'd love to address it, on Fridays when they show up for lunch. Like, we can talk about these things too. And then when we get back together, we can definitely, cover it all.
Maybe we could do this once a month, and you do your Friday thing every week, and I will try to get in there once a month, just so that I can remember to keep my mind tidy too. It's a daily process. It's not something that just, it's like when you vacuum your room, in a couple days it's dirty again, so you got to vacuum it again. So, you got to keep vacuuming your mind.
Yeah, you got to keep on top of it, or it will get messy. So you got daily Yeah, or you know what, if you can't show up if you forget, life is happening, right? Life is going on. So just pop in on Fridays or pop in on once a month when me and Valerie are here. And just
Yeah.
touch back into that place where you're aware again to say, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I was supposed to be thinking more like this." Get some good medicine for your mind. Like get some good conversations. Get some things that bring in some calm and some peace and some clarity instead of feeding your
Chaos
mind.
and craziness, because there's enough chaos and craziness in the world. We can be that peace inside of the chaos.
We gotta
We can
clean
just
up the crazy, girl.
yes.
Clean it
And we
up.
can't clean up other people's crazy because we're not responsible for it. We can only clean up our own crazy. And I hope you
Yep.
guys understand what we mean by crazy. It's just a loose term. We don't think that you're certifiably crazy. Although I could be. I turn my head. I have 6 cats, so I don't know how crazy I can not call myself. But I think we'll do this for about 20 minutes once a month, and you guys can go see Angie every Friday at I think it's, well, you can go to Angie's web Instagram page and her Facebook page, and you can see when she does it, the time she does it. I'm telling you, it has changed my life. I'm so grateful for you, Angie. Thank you for helping me.
For you. For just getting to know you, like just watching you unfold with it all has been amazing. So thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Let me
Thanks.
hear. Yeah.
Well, I just want to say to everyone, I really want this year, 2021, to be the beginning of a decade of positive influence, positive, just a lot of, like Angie said, just spreading love. It may sound silly and simplistic, but it's not. I mean, love is important because really, and when it gets down to it, everything else isn't really there. Only love is. Love is the only thing that is real, period. So, we can sign off for now. Maybe somehow we can figure out a way to take questions. You guys are like, there's so much coming in. I would really love to be able to answer your questions. If you have questions, go to Angie's page and put the questions down. Maybe I'll put this up on the gallery too, and try to get to as many of your questions as possible. And then tune in next Friday to see Angie, and
Hey,
she'll address some of it.
remember there's help. Like you don't have to do this by yourself. You are not alone. I don't care if you don't have the resources for it. There's help. Like there is help.
You
Please
don't have to
take
be
it.
alone in this. We don't have to be alone anymore. We don't.
No.
We don't. We can reach out.
And start where you are. You are never too, if you're still here on this earth breathing in and out, it is not too late. There is no level too low that we cannot reach you. So come on, like, let us be here with you, okay?
Let's do this together, okay, you guys? All right. I love you guys. Love you, Angie. Thank you.
Love
See ya.
you.
Let's see if I know how to turn this off.